I've heard many New Zealand school principals say that the revised New Zealand curriculum is an opportunity to recapture the meaning and the richness of a good education for our young people. Well, the challenge for us is to ensure that that meaning and that richness is actually captured. The revised New Zealand curriculum is a co-constructed curriculum. That means it was developed by the Ministry of Education with the teaching profession. That's in contrast to the current curriculum documents that were developed by contractors to the Ministry of Education with very little input, I might say, from the profession in general. In keeping with the spirit of the Treaty of Waitangi and New Zealand's bicultural nationhood, we have two statements of national curriculum. Schools are permitted to choose to explore and work across both statements. However, that will take some time and some careful consideration. It's not an uncomplicated thing to try to do. In embarking on the revised New Zealand curriculum, we need to appreciate what the significant shifts are all about. This curriculum simultaneously approaches learning for knowledge and skills and learning for learning and living. And our task is to somehow bring those into some sense of wholeness and coherence rather than seeing them all as separate parts. The shift also represents a move away from a preoccupation with endless lists of achievement objectives to taking a bigger view of what it is we want children to learn. Defining curriculum is another matter that warrants our initial attention. What do we mean by curriculum? Well, for some people it means it's a plan. But the true curriculum is what actually happens in classrooms when children and their teachers go into those rooms and spend their time together there. That's what the true curriculum is actually about. Whereas the written curriculum may not necessarily be a true match of what is going on in that classroom. So if you talk about the curriculum in your school, you need to be confident that you're talking about what is actually going on in the classrooms around the school. There's no one best way to approach teaching, learning, school curriculum, regardless of the ever-increasing pool of studies, advocacies, or particular packages that are being made available to schools. Arguably one of the greatest enemies to professional learning and the strengthening of school practice is the penchant for the package solution. Well, if you want to operate at a high level of professional activity, you need to say we're going to develop our own approaches, but develop them in ways that are consistent with the general intent of the revised New Zealand curriculum.